Hello everybody and welcome to Pravus Gaming and Civilization 6, a brand new series for this channel that I have been looking forward to for a very, very long time. The game just released yesterday, and this is the first time I have ever had an opportunity to play it. Of course, I have watched some of the other big YouTubers play the game. I've gotten a little bit of an idea how the game looks, and it seems awesome. It looks like it takes a lot of my favorite features from Civilization 4 and Civilization 5, while also adding in some interesting new mechanics that I'm excited to see how they feel once I actually start playing the game for myself. So, we're going to be playing a game today. We're going to start up a series, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and have some feedback for me. We can keep playing it. I don't know. We'll see. As far as the Civilization that we'll be playing today, I want to go for somebody that I have not seen a lot of people play thus far. And there are quite a few good options on here, including some really lesser-known civilizations, which I think is interesting. I mean, Cleopatra, there we go, is obvious, but Gilgamesh, Gorgo, Harald? I mean, some of these are pretty interesting, so I don't know. But the one we are going for today is going to be Arabia, Lord Salahuddin. I believe that's how you pronounce it in the proper Arabic. Salahuddin? And most people just call him Saladin. I could call him Lord Salad once in a while, but, you know. For this purpose, it's an interesting civilization. It's going to be harmonizing faith and science together, I think, in some interesting ways, but it also seems to be a very little-picked civilization, so maybe it's not that strong, or maybe it's just being overlooked. I don't know, but we're going to find out. For this game, I will be bumping up the difficulty to King, because I'm going into the game with a certain level of prior knowledge. I feel like it's only fair to try and bump the difficulty up a little bit, and it is only a step below what I usually would play for a casual game of Civilization 5. For the game speed, we'll stick with standard. Continent's map type is probably fine, and we'll go to a standard size for a map, so that'll be 8 players. And I'm not going to change any of the advanced setup, but this is what it would look like. Standard rules, you can change the eras, you can change some of the sizes, temperature, rainfall, blah blah blah. You also can determine which victory conditions are going to be active, and you'll notice here that there is a new victory condition introduced in Civilization 6, the religious victory. Exactly how you win this one, I don't know. I think it has something to do with converting a certain population percentage. It's either like half or 3/4 of the world, I don't know, but either way, pretty cool. We may very well end up playing with that. I'm not sure yet. But let's go ahead and start up the game and listen to Sean Bean's glorious silky voice.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest. From this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. The marriage of science and religion is a delicate balancing act, but one that you have mastered, Saladin. Your quest for knowledge is noble, and your people have a deep respect for you, but you need not rush into the unknown. Given time, the answers to life's most puzzling questions will find their way back to Arabia.
Okay, while we're waiting, let's talk a little bit about Arabia's special abilities. So first and foremost, we see Righteousness of the Faith. The worship building for their religion can be purchased by any player for just 1/10 of the usual faith cost. This worship building is enhanced to add 10% to the science, faith, and culture output of Arabian cities. Pretty interesting. So like other religions in Civilization 5, you can pick out a building that you can purchase with faith, or just build normally in this case as well. But in this case, it's going to be extremely cheap, and it has several other perks. So going for holy sites as Arabia is going to be very, very important if you want to get extra science, faith, and culture. We also have an ability called the Last Prophet. Automatically receive the final great prophet when the next to last one is claimed. So basically what that means is we are guaranteed to get a religion this game. Maybe not the best religion, because we could very well be the last ones to get it. I don't know yet. So depending on the mechanics, that could be pretty good, just guaranteeing a religion. Maybe a religion is always a good thing to have. Or maybe it ends up being a little bit of a hindrance because it's just not a very good religion. I don't know yet. We're going to find out. +1 science for each foreign city following Arabia's religion. Okay, so good. All the more reason to spread as much as we can to eke out just a little extra science. Arabia also does start off with a unique unit, the Mamluk, which is I think a replacement for the Knight. It's a sort of a medieval cavalry unit. But I believe the special feature of the Mamluk is that it can heal after every turn, even when it has attacked. So you get a lot of extra sustain with some really powerful cavalry. We also have a unique building, the Madrasa, which is a replacement for the university. I believe it gives not only additional science, but as faith as well. So again, you're kind of seeing, as Sean Bean said, there's a marriage of science and religion when it comes to the playing as Arabia. And I'm not sure what the balance is going to look like as far as developing Arabia, but I think it would be an interesting challenge, so let's go ahead and begin the game and see how we do. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting start. Not the best start I think I've ever seen. We do have some mountains nearby, a bit of wheat, some stone, some whales. That's our only luxury available to us. Crabs is a bonus resource. Not super thrilled with this start, to be honest. It doesn't have some amazing tiles. Let's switch over to yield icons. There we go. So one thing I do know about Civilization 6, which is actually the same for Civilization 5, wherever I end up settling my city, I am going to have a minimum of 2 food and 1 production on a tile. So, for example, if I settle down right here, I'm not going to have only 2 food. I'm going to end up getting 2 food and 1 production. Whereas, however, if I settle my city on, for example, this hill right here, I would have 2 food and 2 production, because it already has 2 production on it. So, it's tempting to say move. That said, I don't know. One of the advantages of settling next to a river like this is that you get extra housing. And if I take a look real quick at a lens for the settler there, yeah, okay. So you can see here on the key, we have fresh water, coastal water, no water, and too close to the city, which is the mountains. So along the river is fresh water, not salty, and as a result, we'll get extra housing. Now, what is housing, you might ask? It's a new mechanic in Civilization 6. It is basically a population cap on your city. So I can have a ton of food, but if, for example, I have only 4 housing, well, that means the most population I can have in a city is 4 until I build more housing. Starting off with +3 gives you a lot of room for growth without having to build a granary, tile improvements and other things like that. It doesn't hinder you. So it's really, really good to start next to fresh water, and if I built right here, yeah, I would get an extra production, but I would lose 2 housing in the process, which is not so great. Yeah, ouch. That said, it's also very tempting to say let's move and found on the coast, because if I do that, I think I would get a Eureka, which actually could be worth my time. Yeah, actually, I do think that would be smart, because, okay, if you don't know where Eurekas are, I'll talk about that in a minute, but just trust me for a second. If this works the way I think it does, this actually could be a pretty good settling location. So we're going to move on to this, and we are going to found our first city like so. There's our Eureka. Okay, so what is a Eureka if you don't know? I'm going to give you some Cliff Notes versions on the new features in Civ 6 as I go. But if you open up the technology tree, this looks pretty familiar to us. But you'll see some technology, for example, like Astrology. Now, Astrology takes 72 turns to make right now, which is a lot. But we'd access the shrine, Stonehenge, a holy site, all pretty good. What, however, is this little bar? Well, this means if we can get the Eureka for Astrology, a little inspiration for this technology, it will give us half of the cost for free right away. Now, we just did that with sailing, so you can see that this is filled in, and the boost for this was founding a city on the coast. And I know that because I loaded up a test game real quick just to make sure, and try to familiarize myself with a few technologies. Astrology, you can see that the Eureka here would get a natural wonder. Find any natural wonder in the world, and we will get a boost to Astrology, and it'll save us a total of 25 science in cost. So there's a pretty cool idea right there, and I just managed to save myself about 25 science just for settling right there, and I don't think it's really cost me much of anything. I still have the fresh water, I can still access the grain, I have the mountain, I have the luxury. I mean, everything's pretty much here, so yeah, we'll stick with it as it is. Now, I do want to switch over, I think, to the food and the production, because growth is going to be extremely important for us. I also will tell my cities to prioritize food and production. You actually can be a little bit more flexible in this. So, for example, if I wanted to say, avoid science, right? It's not just focus on science, avoid it. Actively avoid it. If you're going to auto-assign some citizens, I could do that. For now, though, food and production are really the only things that are going to matter. Let's go ahead and choose our production. I think that, like everything else, we probably want to start off with a scout, so we will. I'm going to go ahead and scout off to the... Well, I was going to scout further to the south. If I move one tile south, I'm going to get stuck. But I'm going to get stuck on this hill anyway. So, alright, we're going to move down this direction. Explore a little bit further. They did change movement up in this game compared to Civilization 5. So, like in Civ 5, you have 2 movement points. which means I can move 1, 2 tiles. Some tiles, however, cost 2 movement points. Climbing up a hill, going into a forest, crossing a river, costs 2 points. Now in Civ 5, if I spent my first point moving to, let's say, this tile, then my second point, even if it did cost 2 movement points to go up a hill, I could just spend my second movement point and just go up here for 1. It was typically encouraged to spend your first point going to flat terrain and spending your second going onto hilly terrain. That's pretty much what you wanted to do. In Civilization 6, they changed that around. So now, if I spent 1 point going here, I'll have to wait till next turn so I can have 2 movement points and then climb up the hill again. It sounds like a very simple change, and it is, but it's actually pretty significant, at least in my opinion. All right, first thing we're going to go for, I think, is going to be pottery. Do I want to go for pottery? Yeah, allows the harvesting of wheat and rice. So we'll go for that because we do have a fair bit of wheat nearby, but I want to explore as much as I can, as quickly as I can, and that's why I'm going to be focusing out a scout. Now, one other thing that you may have noticed, in addition to a tech tree, which is we are familiar with from regular Civ games, we also have a new civics tree, and this is how you spend your culture instead of the policy screen that we had before in Civilization 5. And it works pretty much the exact same way. You go through your turns, getting your culture to work toward various kinds of civic technology, and that will unlock certain bonuses. So, for example, Code of Laws will unlock a tribal government style, and we will get certain economic or military policies. We'll understand more about that later. And just like with science, culture does have eureka moments. So, things to be paying attention to in the future. All right, we're going to go ahead and spend our 2 movement points going out onto this forest. We discovered some rice and a bit of flat terrain. Not bad, I suppose. I want to maximize my chance to get to some goody huts, and that pretty much means getting away from the coast. That said, going off this direction looks like it's just going to get me into an already explored area. So maybe I'll follow the coast for a little while and see how that looks. Where are we looking on the map? Okay, we're kind of close to the southeastern side of the map. That's good to know. All right, next turn. Let's see how this works. I'm going to be just giving you some brief overviews of some of the changes, but I'm not going to go into a ton of depth on it because, like I said, some of the big YouTubers have been playing this game for a while already, and you're probably at least a little bit familiar with this, so I'm going to assume you have a certain level of prior knowledge rather than waste your time. Do I want to follow the coast more, or do I want to get onto the hill? I'm going to get onto the hill. Okay, perfect. I'm glad we did that, because there's a goody hut. That little noise cue is probably the best way to find out if you actually have a goody hut, because it's kind of hard to see. It doesn't stand out to me quite as much as, say, the ruins in Civ 5 would have, but oh well. What can you do, right? Oops, I just realized I didn't set a timer. It's going to be a long video, but I hope you're okay with that. Let's get the goody hut. Okay, well, we just discovered a Eureka moment for bronze working. So that's technology we don't have access to for a little while, but at least we have a Eureka, and that shaves off quite a bit of time on that. Not bad. Next turn. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm not really thrilled with this start. The thing is, I don't really feel like spamming out, you know, multiple restarts trying to get a better map. So we're going to go with what we have. Okay, we have our first Barbarian Camp. Hello. Okay, barbarians are far more dangerous in Civilization 6, from what I can tell. So what's going to happen is these camps will spawn a scout, and the scout will run down toward a city, or let's go in some direction. If they find my city, though, what they're going to do is hightail it back to the camp as fast as they can. If they get back to the camp, they will notify the barbarians of my location. The barbarian camp will then start spawning raiding parties and sending them to attack me. So we actually want to be very, very careful and be ready for those scouts, because they can cause some serious, serious problems for me if I'm not prepared. Which right now I'm not, and that does concern me a little bit. Alright, well, do I go a little bit to the east? Do I stay close to the camp? Do I go north? Oh, crap. Let's go this way. Let's get a little closer. Can I attack it? A minor defeat for me is what they're saying. It does... Yeah, I would definitely lose a little bit. Still, it's an opportunity to try and weaken the camp. But no, we're going to have to move on to the next turn. Let's fortify in case they attack me. Make sure that I don't lose anything unnecessarily. 2 turns away from getting our first scout. Let's go ahead and move a little bit off. Now, there is still a zone of control, like before, so he's making sure that I can't move too fast around him. But we did find another goody hut, so that was pretty fortunate for us. Not bad. This scout is now done. Well, I hope so. Come on. There we go. Hello. Oh, shush. Okay, let us explore... I guess we'll explore around this eastern mountain range here. Okay, there's more mountains over here. Interesting. Mountains are important because they are a good opportunity to... they're a good opportunity to try and get some early science from campuses, or maybe some faith from holy sites. Something to consider. Do we want to get another scout? I think I actually need to get a slinger. Because if we have a barbarian camp that close to me, then I'm going to want to be able to deal with that and any scouts that they send my direction. So a slinger is an early game ranged unit that might be able to help us out. Okay, explored a little bit that way. Let's get the goodie hut. We got 40 gold. It's not amazing, but you know, it's not terrible. Lots of cattle around here. Okay. Deer is still only a bonus resource. I'm not seeing a whole lot of good amenities. These horses are very tempting. I mean, I really want horses. Especially if that means I get the Mamluks. Tobacco is a luxury resource. That's an extra amenity that could be useful to me. Alright, well, let's open up the technology. Do I want to work towards sailing so I can get some galleys, some fishing boats? Unlocks the builder ability to construct a fishing boat on whales, for example. Ooh, tempting. Tempting. Let's instead work toward mining. Some of the basic technologies. I don't think I need sailing quite yet. My production is going to be focused on other matters instead. So yeah, let's not worry ourselves too much about that. But it is tempting. Climb up the hill. More sheep. Okay. Not much else to be seen, so we'll skip our turn there. Still no sign of a scout. I'm going to explore a little bit more to the east. No new camps. Okay, still looking for those goodie huts. I want to get as many of those as I can before any AIs would do that. Still, we're managing to explore quite a bit. There's a lot of flat lands around here, which actually is very useful as far as scouting is concerned, but not so good as far as some resources. Okay, more horses over here. Now, I do not believe that horses and iron work the same way they did in Civ 5. I don't think that, for example, horses, this would tell you, hey, there are 3 horses here, which means you can build 3 horse units and then you're capped. I don't think that there are any limitations. I think once I settle down some horses, I have unlimited horses. But if I am wrong on that, then I apologize, and I hope somebody does correct me. Let's move on to the next turn. This slinger is only a couple turns away. We'll start heading up to the north. I would love to kill a barbarian with the slinger if we can. And to that extent, I'm probably going to send the warrior back down this direction so he can help. But if we can kill a unit with a slinger, then I know we will get a Eureka for archery, which would be nice. I would like to get early game archery. Explore a little bit further to the east with the scout, finally getting to some flat land so we'll be able to move around a lot faster. There's a lot of hills over here with a lot of really good production. That's interesting. Might be tempting, if we can find some amenity resources, might be tempting to settle off in this direction. A good mix of food and production. Mostly production. It'd be a very production-heavy city, but still, you might be able to get something kind of cool there. Explore a little bit this direction. Alright, not too bad. Okay, let's move north with the slinger, and let's start heading back this direction with my warrior, and we're going to try to clear out that camp before it becomes a problem. Do I want to get another unit, or do I want to get a building? Do I want to get a builder? I think... Let's see. How much does it cost to purchase a builder? 200 gold, huh? Okay, do I want to get more military units? Do I want to get more scouts? Tempting. So, builders are the replacement for workers. Those are no longer in the game. And the way that builders work is they have a certain number of charges. In this case, 3. So what I can do is I can take the builder, move him over to this wheat tile, and he'll spend 1 charge building a farm. And so on and so forth until he's used up all 3 of his charges, and then he's gone. You don't get to have a worker from the beginning of the game all the way until the end. To that extent, you want to be very careful about where you use your builders and make sure that they are as cost-effective as possible. Building on the wheat is tempting to get some extra food. Building on this quarry to get a good mix of production and food would be pretty tempting. Build another mine here if I really want more production. More food from whales. It's very, very tempting. Right now we have 2 out of 6 housing, which is not a lot. But I think that if I go for... I could go for the granary, and that would get me food and housing. If I go for the builder, I could get more food and a little bit of housing. I'm going to go for the builder, I think. I'm tempted to go for a military unit, but I do think that the builder in this case is going to be better than the granary. Because the granary, again, gives you 1 food and 2 housing. Well, every tile improvement gives you half a housing. So if I have 3 charges, I think I could get 1.5 housing plus more than 1 food. So I actually think that the builders, generally speaking, are going to be a better deal for me. Alright, anything else I wanted to do? No. Then the military units would be tempting so that I could go and kill this barbarian camp a bit more effectively.
Enacting
New policies. Okay, so we just finished Code of Laws. Wonderful. So now we can change our policies, and we have a basic government type, a chiefdom. And from a chiefdom, that unlocks 1 military policy and 1 economic policy. Now, knowing that that's true, we could go for either double experience for recon units, or more combat strength when fighting barbarians, which I like. We could also go for production in all cities, so this would be 1 production, or we could get 1 faith and 1 gold. Going for 1 faith gives us a chance of getting a Pantheon, and it's going to be a while before I have anything that gives me faith naturally, so we're going to go ahead and confirm this. It's also worth pointing out... where can I see my government? Hang on. Show government. It's not quite what I had in mind. I don't know. There's a button for it. Is this it? Great people, religion, government. There we go. Governments can be upgraded over time, so starting with a chiefdom is pretty weak, but eventually we can get a classical republic, autocracy, merchant republic, monarchy, theocracy, democracy, fascism, communism, and so on. It kind of progresses through the ages, and you can see how the different government types get more and more powerful, and each government type is going to have some special abilities as well. So, which is going to be best for us, I haven't really decided yet, but it will be interesting when we can find out. Okay, we're going to send the scouts to the bottom down here, I think. Okay, found some tobacco, found some dyes. Alright, interesting. So if I founded a city in this general region, we might be able to get 2 more luxury resources, some fresh water, some food, and a lot of production. Tempting. Choose a new civic. We should go for... craftsmanship, maybe. We can at least make some progress on craftsmanship, because I think I might be able to get the Eureka if I am working on a builder right now. You need to go up this direction and sit tight for a while, because you don't have enough movement to go up that hill. And that's really how the change really affects you. It's kind of crazy. You wouldn't think that changing your movement this drastically is going to have a huge impact on how you play your game, but it really, really does. Let's try to follow the coast a little bit more. Make sure I don't miss anything important, and I don't think I am. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Incense, wow. And more whales. So there's a lot of amenities in this direction. Does this count as fresh water? Totally does, this lake. Ooh, tempting. Dyes, incense, really close to some tobacco. Finding a city over here could be okay as far as amenities. Not amazing as far as areas for other good tile improvements. Right, I mean, generally speaking, I think that these right here, these grassland hills, are optimal for founding some cities. Because 2 food and 1 production is probably the balance you're looking for, especially in the early game, to balance out growth and production, but oh well. Mining is done, okay. Let's go ahead and move up here. Let's go ahead and send you... Whoops, no! Stupid automatic unit cycle! God! Civilization 6 still has that nasty, nasty feature where it cycles between your units before you realize it, and you click just at the wrong time and waste an entire turn of movement. You can imagine how thrilled I am about that. Alright, well, let's choose some new technology. So, I'm going to go for... Okay, with this builder, I'm going to get the wheat. I already have ability to get a quarry. I would like to get sailing so that I can get the whales if I so desire. So let's start working on that. It's 7 turns away. That should be no problem whatsoever. Next turn. So the slinger... Oh, they're coming after my... No, they're not coming after my slinger. What are you doing? I don't know. But we're going to stop you from getting back to your camp is what we're going to do. Let's attack this with our slinger. They only have a range of 1, so they're not quite as strong as an archer would be. But they can do some safe damage, which is something, I suppose. We'll use our warrior to do a bit more damage now that they are weakened. Not bad. Again, I want to kill the unit with the slinger if I can. So that's going to be my goal. Let's move you here. Then down... What? Oh, hi! Well, King Shi Huan. This is the Emperor of China. Oh, aren't you a charming-looking fellow? Okay, met our first other player, the Chinese Empire. It is an honor to meet you, sir. You have seen our magnificence. Is your capital even half as grand? Exchanging information on capitals so we can tell each other where we are on the map, and I'll go ahead and do that. We got a Eureka in writing for meeting another player. That's pretty cool. So there they are. Now, that said, I suspect... there's their capital. Okay, so they've probably gotten all the goody huts around this area. Let's go south just to see. Okay, I was hoping maybe there'd be one piece of land with a tribal something, village here. But, no, there is not. Wow, so settling down here is actually going to be a little bit tougher because that would be pretty aggressive. He might get very angry at me. But it might be worth the risk. We'll see. We will see. I actually don't know all of the perks. Let's see if we can kill him. Can we kill you now? Please kill him. Nice. Okay, we get that Eureka toward archery. Sweet. Let's clear out the camp. And for clearing out a camp, we get another Eureka toward military tradition. Wonderful. All right. So let's try going off to the east on the off chance he hasn't found something over here. And he has. Okay. There's another tribal village here. That's pretty exciting. And this slinger, I guess we'll go ahead and explore up this direction for now, since we don't see any evidence of another barbarian camp. As I was saying, I don't know all the perks of the different civilizations and what they can do. So I don't know what his special abilities are. I think it has something to do with builders having extra stuff. He already has a Pantheon. Wow, that was pretty quick. The Goddess of Harvest. I would have been tempted to get that. I have plenty of wheat. Damn. All right, go up to this desert. You go this direction. Oh, never mind. We found another camp. Hello? How are you? Welcome to Gryffindor. Sorry, wait, what? Okay, well, we found a camp down here. One just spawned, so I actually do need to send my slinger down this way. We want to intercept that scout. But I do want to get that goody hut. So, yeah. 2 turns away from getting our first builder. Now, builders, of course, the downside of building some tile improvements is that they can be raided by these barbarians. Oh, hello. Okay, the barbarians have found us. That's not good. We need to get down here ASAP then. This guy's going to probably start hightailing it back to his camp up here. If we can intercept him, then we can stop them from spawning any raiding parties. Yeah, exploring in this direction is not that useful to me because he's undoubtedly gotten any goody huts in this area. So yeah. I actually wanted to send you to the goody hut. Crap. I'm an idiot. Okay, well, it's fine. Next turn. Alright. Alright. We've spotted barbarians approaching our city of Cairo, and now they're heading back up to the north. What are they going to do? We don't know yet. Okay, you seriously, go back up here. Go to the goody hut. You get onto the hill. Oh my god, the freaking auto movement! Stop it! There's gotta be a way to turn that off. Hang on. This has always bugged me. Quick combat, quick movement, auto end turn, tuner, advisors, turns between auto, graphics, audio, language, interface, key bindings, application. No, there's no way to change that. That has always been one of my least favorite features in Civilization. This automatic unit cycle makes it so freaking easy to accidentally mismicro your units. Did I want my builder to go here? Heck no, there are barbarians. Now, I don't think that the scouts are going to bother me, but even so, that's not what I wanted. Let's get ourselves another slinger because it looks like we have enough barbarians that I am very concerned. Freaking heck, man. Freaking heck. Alright, next turn. It's very frustrating. It's very, very, very frustrating. This scout has definitely found us. Has this one? I don't know, but it looks like these guys want to come after me. Well, let's get the goody hut. It was Faith. Okay, that actually might be able to get us a Pantheon a little bit faster. We are not on a hill. Do I want to back up or do I want to attack? I'm going to attack and hope that he can't do a ton of damage to me. All right, builder. No, no, no auto unit cycle. No. Down this direction, please. Just go to the city. I mean, it's the safest place for you right now. We wasted 2 freaking turns. Okay, that looks like... Is this leading to a new continent, or is this a... Interesting. What is this? We might be able to find something over here, depending. Could be worth a shot. 1 turn away from getting sailing. I want to get the farm first, but the safest option would be to get the whales. Next turn. Are you going to attack my slingers? Yep, you are. Looks like they can do a fair bit of damage. But can they do enough? Sailing is done. Alright, let's start heading back down here. Do we want to attack again, or do we want to retreat? If I retreat up the hill, he can't attack me. So let's go ahead and retreat. I just want to make sure that I don't lose that unit. That would be disastrous. Let's go ahead and head toward the wheat because I am already working this tile, and I really, really need more food because I'm not growing very quickly. And that's a very bad thing. Very, very bad thing. Choose some research. New tech. Do you want to go for writing? Do you want to go for irrigation? Do you want to go toward archery? We'll get animal husbandry and start working our way toward archery because I think that will be useful to me. We can choose a Pantheon now. Excellent. What do I want to go for? Let's see. Tundra? No. Rainforest? No. Production toward wonders? Probably not. Amenity if a holy site is next to a river? Probably not going to happen. Divine Spark. Great person point from a holy site, campus, and theater districts. Tempting, actually. Not bad if you want to get some great people. Marsh, oases, floodplains? No. God of the Sea? 2 production from that probably is the most we can expect. Stone circles is meh. Camps? No. Not a lot of pastures. We don't have a lot of mines. Don't have a lot of this either. Religious idols. Wine, incense, cocoa, tobacco, coffee, tea plantations, no. Now, the only luxury we have is whales. Oral tradition wouldn't do much for us either. Interesting. 50 faith for clearing out in a barbarian outpost. Probably not, but interesting. No. Fertility for growth? I'm not liking any of these, honestly. I could get some bonus out of God of the Sea. Some. We are coastal. We do have 2 resources where if I settle down here, I might be able to get more. It's either that or Divine Spark. I'm very tempted for the Divine Spark, actually. We won't get any immediate use out of it. That's the problem. Whereas I could get some pretty quick use out of God of the Sea. Alright, we're gonna go for God of the Sea. Alright, we got our Pantheon, which means we get a Eureka moment toward mysticism. Which will be fun. Alright, well, good news is I already have a builder right here. So let's go ahead and spend 1 charge. And he's gonna build a farm. And we got a Eureka moment toward irrigation. Let's cross this little strait and see what we got. A camp, okay. I'm willing to test the waters a little bit over here. What do we got? What's in this little island weird area here? I don't know. So, let's just double check our workers. We are locking this tile already. Do I want to work this, or do I want to work... I like the idea of getting the production, but I really need the food. So I'm going to go ahead and take you off and attach you to the whales, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm probably going to send the builder to go here, so I can get 3 food, 1 hammer, and 2 gold. I could go for the quarry as well if I want to get 2-2. This would be just worth 2-1-3. I don't know. Few options here, actually, for the builder now. The God of the Sea changes things up a little bit. Still, I think I need to end this video here. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus. We're starting a great new series in Civ 6. It's an awkward start for kind of an awkward player who doesn't know what he's doing yet, but I'm trying. I think I'm trying to get the hang of it, and I think we can make this work. We'll see. If you guys have any suggestions, by all means, let me know in the comments section. I will be just a couple of videos ahead of you guys. I'll try to react to them as quickly as I can. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for my future content. My name has been Pravus, and I will see you guys next time.
Yeah.